What will happen after the conclusion of FGO Part 2? What about Part 3? Looking back at KinokoNasu words so far. And this was mostly a compilation made by Famitsu, probably from all the interviews and all. And of course, it's machine translated, so take it with a grain of salt. And I'll skip some gibberish like, the smartphone. Yeah, let's try to read it properly. Okay, the smartphone RPG, FGO, second main story, Cosmos Lostbelt, which ran for approximately 8 years, reached its conclusion with the unlocked scenario on December 27, 2025. Those who saw the ending part 2 may be feeling anxious and wondering, will service end soon? When will it end? Oh my god. Yeah, Twitter was filled with this, right? When will it end? Will there be part 3? Will there be a foreigner chapter? Yeah, I mean, and so on. Famitsu has interviewed Type Moon's KinokoNasu and Takashi Takeuchi, as well as a singer Yoshiki Kano, development director on FGO Part 2, on each anniversary of the series. During the interviews, they also answered questions about developments following the conclusion of Part 2, possible plans for Part 3, and the 11th anniversary of the series conclusions. There you go. It's a good compilation to clarify people. Let's check it out. The article presents excerpts from their comments as masters who dreams of continuing his journey. I hope to be able to alleviate even just a little of the doubts and anxieties you may currently be harboring. However, only those involved know how long FGO will continue, or whatever it will end in the near future. That's true. So I guess that the only real point is that FGO will survive just fine, no worries, until the 11th anniversary. With the Takeuchi already said so much, but let's see what we can get grab from Famitsu, because I don't remember why exactly Takeuchi said it, but I'm positive Takeuchi said it that the 11th year had already content planned and stuff like this. But let's see what we can get here. At this stage, it isn't clear whether it will continue or end, so please keep that in mind. The plan for what will happen after the conclusion of Part 2 was mentioned in the 4th anniversary interview. 4th anniversary interview? Jesus, they're bringing stuff from the 2019? Okay. In the 4th anniversary interview conducted after opening the Part 2, Chapter 4 of Lostbelt 4, Creation, Destruction, and Reincarnation, Yuga Kresha, the Black Final God KinokoNasu, made the following statement about his plans for the will after the conclusion of Part 2. Omitted. The story of Part 2 will continue from now on, but we're already halfway through. I imagine you're thinking about what happens after it's over. Nasu. Part 2 is like a full course meal, so Type Moon will pull all his efforts into making it to make it until it's over. It depends on whatever users who finish the full course says. I'm full, I'm leaving the restaurant, or whatever they say. I can still eat even after the full course. If there are people who want to stay and play, we as a management team have to make an effort to ensure that they enjoy themselves, so we have prepared a post-conclusion development. Okay. Okay, let me comment on this later. Post-conclusion development, what kind of content do you have in mind? We have prepared 2 patterns. Pattern A, which continues the story of Part 2, and Pattern B, which completely ends the story of Chaldea in Part 2 and starts a different story. I have ideas in mind for both that I think would be interesting. At this stage, do you have both ideas yourself, Nasu? It's too late now if we don't start thinking about it now, so I have a draft prepared, but it's up to the users to decide. This is something I can't even read myself. Also, by that time, I will have to make progress on my main game, so it's a bit of a dilemma. I think this helps on the idea that people were creating theories that the choices inside the game would actually define this, right? maybe that's where it started a little bit, this sentiment. But yeah, okay. What I thought about reading this is that it was actually a dooming kind of answer. But here he clarifies a bit more. He was just saying he has clear plans if he wants to end the story here or if he wants to continue the story here. He has clear plans for that. But then COVID was the one factor in the delay. Yeah, but the delay happens, but still they delivered the story just fine, right? So there are indeed two routes. Yeah. I mean, there were two routes. You gotta realize this was like COVID year, right? Like Valera said, COVID year, 2019, around 2019. So it was just Nasu saying, all right, I have proper drafts for both routes. Now they're saying what people will choose, I guess, because I feel like it's mostly if they are expecting players to express if they want to continue the story of Chaldea or if they want to finish the story of Chaldea and that's it. But I don't think that's the case. I think mostly will be Aniplex will decide. Also, they can definitely still eat, considering that FGO jumped on the charts again after released the New Year's Servant yesterday. Oh yeah, by the way, before continuing, let me show you an interesting thing here. My friend, because I forgot to check this out, so my friend shared with me the gacha revenue, right, of the month of December, and look who's here, back to the top 10. We have FGOzers that had fell a little bit, have fell 6 positions, but still keeping up. But let's not forget, we didn't have a new servant released in December, right? What was the last new servant we got? I don't remember which. Let me check here. FGO, no, events FGO. I forgot which was the last new release servant. Before Solomon. Let me check here. The Grand Duel served. It was mostly reruns, right? We're having reruns for a while. Elizabeth. Yeah, Elizabeth was like what? Was like in October. If it was Elizabeth, yeah. We were just running on reruns if that's the case. Yeah, because Elizabeth was in October. There you go. Elizabeth was in the end of October. So yeah, and it was mostly reruns after reruns and reruns. So yeah. And still they made top 6. I'm sorry. This is amazing. Maybe the Lostbelt Mesh is the final copy to make PHH Mesh MP5. No content for newer players who are not up to auto calls. No new December servants, so much OP free 5-star servants. Yeah, and I think a big chunk of this money as well was from farming, you know. But yeah, but my point is mostly that. Oh crap! My point is mostly that the game is making decent money, so business-wise, there is a reason to continue the game. But of course, I think if the game continues in a sloppy manner, I think people might stop caring, you know? I can see that. If they stop just doing some soulless events over and over, I can see people stop caring about the game. But let's continue. I guess we're here, right? Okay. In an interview conducted after the opening of Part 2, Chapter 6, Lostbelt 6, A Fairy Round Table, Avalon Lafay, the hour when the star is born, we asked additional questions about what would happen after the conclusion of Part 2 and received the following answer. So here, I don't know which year this is, but Avalon Lafay Part 2, this is like probably 2 years later. So are we in 2021 probably? We should be around 2021 or somewhere like this. Okay. This is more a more updated idea, I guess. In a previous interview, you said that there were 2 possible outcomes after the end of Part 2, but has that concept changed at this stage? That's right. I would actually like to go with option A, but that depends entirely on the user response. So after that, I'm just praying that only God knows. So okay, Nasu wants to go with, which continues the story of part 2. That's what that's what Nasu wants. That's not, and again, guys, continue the story. There's enough preparation. We got Kadok, Kadok. We got David that knows the story. We got someone that gave us the title of Pride. Clock Tower someone on Clock Tower probably knows what we did. And of course, there's the whole Mash is still in P4, like people keep saying. Very little indication. So there is a way to continue the story without resetting, without some bullshit. Emotional damaging. All I see is shaking butts. Nikkei, the emotional damaging game. Yeah, people say that the story from Nikkei is amazing. I didn't pay too much attention to the story, to be completely honest. But people say that later chapters of the story it's insane. Surprised Nikkei wasn't on the list considering it's got great Gunner baits. Oh, this on here. Nikkei is on the 11th. I'm assuming. Wait, unless you're not talking about this, what else you're talking about? Let me go back to the chat here on YouTube to go back, because I'm only on multi-chat. Multi-chat, I don't have too much control on the chat. You can vouch for that. Nikkei stories are amazing, right? I heard a lot of great things about Nikkei's stories. You know, I know people love to downplay games that have high Gunner rates, let's put it this way. But dude, those games usually are pretty good, you know. Some of those games have an amazing story. That's just how it is. Just because it's Gunner, it doesn't mean it has bad story. No content for new player. Then it's Summer Servant, so yeah. Surprised Nikkei was on the list. Consider okay. But yeah. Anyway, so let's continue here the interview. Basically, what he said around Lostbelt 6 release is that he would prefer pattern A, which is continuing the story of part 2. That's what he wanted to do. But okay, let's follow the timeline. Okay, let's follow the timeline. At least as the 7th anniversary, there were 3 points. Ended, continue with pattern A, or continue with pattern B. And there was also a draft for if it continue. I see. So I guess he added a third option, just end it. So I guess from the 7th anniversary and on, ending it started to be a reality as well. Interesting. In addition, in a reader survey published in the weekly Famitsu on the 8th anniversary, the following response were made to the question: what do you want FGO after the end of part 2? At that time, an overwhelming 51% of people wanted a part 3. So, okay, from the 8th anniversary, like 2 years ago, it's really recent. User response, they want part 3. Nasu wants to continue the story. Now tell me, where is this doomer mentality coming from? If the main writer, even if it doesn't continue, if the main freaking writer, he wants the story to continue, the players want the story to continue. Dude, it's funny that there are some people completed, there's like 16% that wants the story to end, I guess. Here start with a new main character. Dude, people that want to start the main character it's not little, actually. It's 14%. It's kind of significant. Completely new Fate RPG. I not gonna lie, I have mixed feelings towards this, because I would love an FGO 2 at this point, you know. I would love an FGO 2 at this point, but I have some thoughts about this as well. I refuse to believe that someone with empathy wouldn't cry in Yan Yan Paradise. Snow White, Dembrodium is pretty good unit. I mean, guys, there are years of history of lewd plus 18 visual novels that it's all about the lewd, but with amazing story. With amazing story. That's just how it is. That's just how it is, guys. I'm sorry. We have too many evidence for them. Pretty sure Natsu just wanna finish all the delayed project and backlog. I know he, yeah, I know Nasu probably wants to focus more on his personal projects. You know, Tsukime, Fate Extra Reloaded. I forgot the name, and those personal projects as well. You know, but still, I think he would be involved with FGO. You know, I doubt he's gonna just throw away FGO at this point. It's his oldest son. You know. He might do something he doesn't like, but it is his oldest son and the most successful one, even if whatever flaws he has, you know. So it's not so simple, in my opinion. We probably get a year or two of fillers till Nasu decides to come back. I doubt it. I think it's gonna be even faster. You said a year, right? I think I'm more towards a year. You do have 200 milliga to get Rappi Red Hood? Oh, Onike? I don't. I already played Move Love for the Lewd, State for the Suffering. I will only watch Move Love Alternative on Crunchyroll. Jesus Christ, that's just too painful. Fate Exo Record, which is likely coming out this year about Golden Week. What the hell is that? All muscle. Surprise all muscle out of nowhere. How you doing? I mean, Fate Exo Record. The game doesn't look that amazing, but we'll see. Man, how about finish the Fate Exo Record? Still no news. Yeah, we'll see about that. But anyway, let's continue. So, okay, this part of the survey was made on the 8th anniversary, 2 years ago. I guess it's more like going to the 3 years ago, but it's still 2 years ago. Fair to say. So far, I have picked up on comments about the continuation of part 2, but the theme song by Maya Sakamoto, which was released on December 29th, 2025, Tokei by Maya Sakamoto, which was released on December 29th of 2025. The music video for this song is titled The Final Chapter rather than Part 2, The Final Chapter, as it has been called up until now. Since it's deliberately called The Final Chapter, it is possible that the story will end with Part 2. This is mostly speculation. I don't think that's the case. After we started with an end in mind, Nasu's thoughts change as the service continue. Yeah, and I think this was clear because everyone who knows the stance of Nasu towards the game knows that in the beginning. Wait, is this too silent? Sorry. Hope it's not too silent. Everyone knows that in the stance of Nasu in the beginning is that he didn't trust. I mean, at least that's how he portrays. He didn't trust too much the mobile device to be a media to consume stories, to visual novels, you know. So he wasn't taking too seriously. But after what Singularity? Singularity 3 or 4? Nasu started to get fascinated that people actually were enjoying the story on of FGO on mobile. That's why he decided to come back and write. Right? I mean, it's understandable, you know, because Nasu is the old dog that for him, if you want to play something, it needs to be on a video game and a big screen, you know. There's no other way to play a game or a visual novel. And this is too archaic thought, you know. I mean, you gotta understand, if you work close to people on the last decade or two, you know people are stuck on their mobile, doing everything on their mobile, you know? So yeah, of course people would consume anything on mobile, so yeah. Anyway, let's see what else Famitsu has here for us. Nasu has mentioned in various interviews that FGO will have an end. However, listening to him speak for many years, it seems that his thoughts on how and when the service will end have changed as the service has continued. For sure, like on the many interviews there. For example, in interviews on the 5th and 9th anniversary, he made the following statements. Let's see. Nasu, the ending of Fate Stay Night concludes Shiro's story in Fuyuki, but it shows that Shiro's life continues. In contrast, the end of FGO probably forces a strong message. This is the end of FGO. Some people will say, no, I don't want it to end. While others say, I guess I'll wait for the next new content. In the early days of FGO, I thought this was fine. So is that different now? That being said, after 5 years of running, when users tell me with sparkling eyes, I spent my middle and high school years with FGO, so it's bound to continue to be there. I think I need to keep working hard while I can. Okay, there's more here. Listening to you talk, it really does feel like the end is near. What's the reality? People die someday, and nothing never ends. But it won't end abruptly. The big story will continue to an end with FGO, and no one knows what will happen after that. Of course, you have an idea of how this will play out. Let's see here. I have a few ideas, but I can't say anything definitive yet. I keep saying, after part 2 is over, let me go, put me at ease. But it's not that easy. Hearing that, it seems like it will continue for a while longer. I think that content that has been around for 10 years shouldn't be let go so easily. Especially for those who saw it as a symbol of their youth. That person's life still continues. The reason Gundam fans can continue to love Gundam is because there are people who continue to work hard to create Gundam. It's tough. Wait, you guys can see this, right? Yeah. It's tough for those who are destined to decline, but it's also very meaningful. It's tough for those who are destined to decline, but it's also very meaningful. It's like we're creating an eternity. Encouraged by the effort of these great predecessors, we will continue to work hard towards our 10th anniversary. Here, it was a bit... Okay, here... Okay, this statement... Does it show where this came from? This statement was from the 5th anniversary? No. This was from the 9th anniversary. Okay. This was from the 9th anniversary. Okay, this was a bit more ambiguous, not gonna lie. But it was ambiguous, but still, I think it's pretty solid to take from this. That yes, he sees an end for FGO, but it's not going to happen out of nowhere. But at the same time, he sees that a game that is so long, it doesn't necessarily need to end like this. It maybe should continue because it becomes already a symbol of people's lives. It's funny that he says that, oh yeah, many people were playing middle school and high school. Isn't FGO like a 16 plus game? Well, anyways, let's continue. Although Natsu has mentioned to end it, he also believed that depending on users' feedback, he should continue as long as he can. Furthermore, regarding the user feedback, which is one indicator of whether to continue or not, he made the following comment in weekly Nasu interview commemorating the 10th anniversary of FGO. Okay, we are already in this year, I guess in 2025. Nasu, what is this omitted? We're all being supported by everyone over the past 10 years, so it no longer belongs to us. We can't just say, it's over, see you later. Aftercare will be necessary, and we want to leave it up to the users to decide how this game ends. What do you mean by leaving up to the users? If their voice is saying, we can't let it end here, or we want it to continue, we can't ignore them. If the staff also wants to continue, then Type Moon can't just say, we're quitting. I mean, if in this case, it's just like employees want to work, right? It's not like people want to be let go. But I guess he wants to say more people are willing to continue to spend on the game. Then of course he's gonna continue, right? How did you determine what users' opinions are? Which will determine whether or not the end of the series. I'm always worried about social media, so I don't think we can respond immediately. But we are moving forward as quickly as possible, anticipating various scenarios. This was a bit vague, isn't it? This was just a bit too vague. I was like, okay. It seems that they place importance of social media feedback as one of the indicators of whether or not to continue. When the second part reaches its ending, posting your own feelings on social media, regardless of whatever you want it or not, may increase your chances of reaching the future you desire. Guys, for whoever you there on the chat, you were on your social media of preference. I don't know about you. I want you guys to post their your feelings and experience there. But in my experience on Twitter or Discord, I didn't see a single overwhelming response, you know. In my opinion, I saw people having all sorts of opinions. People that are satisfied, people that want to continue, people that want EOS, people that want to continue as Fujimaru, people that want a new character, people that want a new game. It's kind of insane that I'm seeing all kinds of responses. I don't think I saw. I truly can't tell you guys which was the most singular desire of the people. You know what? Yeah, of course there was the copy of another ending. Let's see if I can do something here. I know some of you don't like too much use of AI, but hold me a little bit. Hold me a little bit. Just a little bit. I want to make a question to Grok. This might be interesting. Can you grab all the posts regarding the end of part 2 of FGO from all users so far, no matter the language, and try to make top 5. Yeah, let's say top 5. Top 5 is no, okay. Languages, and try to group and try to separate in 5 groups of opinion and rank into top 5 on what the players want the most after the end of part 2. I wonder if my question was fairly made. Let's see. I want Grok to see if Grok can separate all the top 5 opinions of players. I think it wouldn't be 100% accurate, but I guess can give a good idea. I want FGO to continue. There is no Tonoshiki yet. You want the? I want Satsuki. Where's Satsuki? Where's the Red Garden? People were drooling over the Red Garden thing, right? No, I've been the same age. No end of FGO. Okay, let's see. The group overwhelmingly positive. Okay, praises beauty, closure, human drama, tears, perfect 10-year journey. Thank you, Nasu. Okay, overwhelmingly positive. 65% of posts were positive. Overwhelmingly, okay. 20% hopeful for continuation. Flags left? Huh? Ah, flags left. I think it means plots, right? Plots, unfinished plots. Right. Okay. 10% mixed, worried, good but uncertain future. I think this mostly would fall on the same group, because I guess they want to continue, but they don't know if you're going to continue, right? I think that this 10% is fair to assume. Man. Negative, disappointed, 3%. Okay. This shows how loud they are, because I saw a lot more than 3%, man. I saw a lot more than 3% getting annoyed and pissed off with the ending. See? Loud minority, guys. Don't get manipulated. Loud minority. Graduation, quit. They want the game to end perfectly now. Okay, I can see that. So okay, people that want part 3, 40%. Okay, top 5 things players want the most after part 2, ranked by frequency, engagement. One, they want part 3 announcement trailer, 40% of the posts. Service continuation confirmation, 25%. Okay, no matter what, 65% of the posts, including, like, it falls under the overwhelmingly positive here. It falls into the 65% of the players want the game to continue. Most players complaining weren't Japanese. Fair point as well. I don't think I saw too many Japanese players not satisfied. I think I saw the Japanese posts that I saw. They were like, what is this ending? What am I? Oh my god! What's going to happen now? Was mostly like this, you know. It doesn't necessarily mean they were not satisfied. It just mean they were. Oh my god! You know, they were lost. 3 offline remaster version, 15%. That's. I mean, this is a conversation for EOS. I saw someone saying that one of the Madoka games, this happened, right? It's kind of interesting, right? I was a bit surprised that a Madoka game was made offline forever, right? I don't know about exactly which one, but I saw someone in the chat saying, and if you know the rules, right? If people say on the chat, it is the truth. New stream details. Oh yeah, this was what people were expecting. So this is where it already ended. Natsu Chin rest, quality side content. Right. Okay. So okay. I think this is a decent arrangement to see that at least the player feedback, it was positive. I can see, like, can you say that 80% was positive and want more, and 65% just like absolutely positive, they want more. Basically, I guess this is at least safe to say, right? So if user feedback is anything, I think at least the users want more, right? Ask Rock, how about the Japanese region only? Okay. What about, can you make the number data? Can you make the same data but simplified, but only specifically towards, no, you know, can you make the same data but towards Japan region only? Or at least in Japanese, right? I guess that's mostly what's gonna happen, right? Like the good Hideaki Anno said, we make stories for Japanese audience, which is fair. Yeah. No, yeah. We're falling into this. Yeah, most people complain. In New Year's YouTube, I saw that the Japanese are rather chill. I saw no one crashing out. Yeah, I think that the most people crashing out over the part 2 ending were mostly not only Westerners, but were mostly people, the doomers, right? People dooming, thinking that means that I can't read Asian, but I guess we can get the numbers anyway, right? Okay. Overwhelmingly positive, 70%. Hope for continuation, 20%. Mixed. Okay, it's the negative feelings are even lower, right? Okay. Translate to English the top 5. This thing. Because it's in Japanese. Come on. But yeah, the negative sentiments are even in Japan side is even lower, but it's not zero. It's not zero, okay, but it's even lower. The positive feelings are higher. Anyway, what do you want the most? 45% in Japan only. 40%, yeah, even more hopeful. 45% they wanted a part 3 new chapter announcement. 25% wanted the service continuation. Here in general was 25%. I guess it's more or less the same. So yeah, and yeah, even less wants the each to end offline version, turn to cultural heritage and stuff like this. Yeah, okay. Ask Rock, how about the Japan region? Okay, so yeah. That's mostly the Japan region only. Basically, it's really similar, but the extremes of the positives are way higher than the negatives. Okay, let's go back to the interview. So it's just to say that the players, if Nasu was saying, oh yeah, what the users want, the use, I mean, the users want to continue the game to continue. Okay. It seems they play is important the social media feedback. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I guess we read this already. Corner chapter, Valentine Days 2026, and the 11th anniversary are there. Okay, and I guess this is about the final part, because those are the last things talked, right? All the information introduced so far is still unconfirmed as to whatever it will actually happen. However, there are a few things we do know about the future development. One is about the Foreigner chapter, which was not depicted even after the end of part 2. In 10th anniversary interview, it was revealed that the Foreigner chapter will be incorporated into the story. After completing, I think this is supposed to be Order Call 4, we will finally go to Antarctica. However, it seems like the issue of the Foreigner hasn't been solved yet. This is the interview, I'm assuming. As for the Foreigner, it will be properly incorporated into the story, just like it was in Dubai. I think users will be surprised and think it's coming at this time. Okay, reading again this. Damn, you know what? Reading this again, because I remember I read this first and 10th anniversary. I didn't think too much, but reading now. Doesn't this don't you guys think this confirms that the Foreigner chapter will be a main chapter? It feels like it's gonna be addressed as a main chapter, right? Because the BB Dubai, it was just a summer event, but it was implemented in a main story, right? Doesn't this feel like the Foreigner chapter is supposed to be a main story as well? Of course, it's a maybe. I'm not saying it's 100%. It just feels like it. Imagine, for example, if the Foreigner chapter is on the Valentine's Day, but becomes a main story as well. I don't know. I'm feeling a flavor like this, you know, a flavor like it's going to show up in a regular event that happens every year in FGO, but it's still be implemented in the main story. Basically, the story continue. More indications that, in my opinion at least, no confirmation anywhere else, in my dumb fuck opinion, I think it's going to continue. Okay? Anyway, in addition, it has been stated that the annual voiceover... the phone. Whatever. In addition, it has been stated that the annual voiceover Valentine's Day event will be held, although the details have been yet to be decided. Now, so you might say, but they're still next year, but the point is, there are characters featured until November, and since they're being summoned, we'll definitely implement a Valentine event, whatever form it takes. It will definitely continue until Valentine's Day, so you can rest assured. It's kind of insane that he's trying to reassure people that until Valentine we'll have stuff. I feel like that this is Nasu almost spilling out that the Foreigner event is the Valentine's Day, but this is just me, you know. This is just me. You don't know what happened after that yet. We'll do Valentine's Day, but we're still not sure what form it will take. Even if we do, we'll decide on the scale. We'll definitely create voiceovers episodes for each chapter, but I was going to bring another thing. Okay, let's continue here. But the same interview also announced that the final servant to appear in 2025, which was announced during the New Year's Eve special in 2024, will be implemented in 2026. Yeah, I keep saying that people bringing. Let me just show you guys. FGO, because people were confused, right? Where's the most updated silhouettes? Let's see. Dude, where are all the silhouettes? I'm not finding the most updated silhouettes. I'll end up showing here not so updated here. Yeah, let's go with this. So okay, the silhouettes are here. Oh crap. Let's look this. Here. Okay. Seeing the silhouettes here. We didn't get this character, right? And this part of the interview that announced that the character was supposed to come in 2025, it will come in 2026. I think it's taking a reference to this character in specific, right? That many people were complaining, well, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Right? Because I forgot, there are other servants here that we already saw, like of course, Indra, the 4-star Lancer, I forgot who was this, and whatever. Right? But the point is, this servant that was skipped is going to show up in 2006. They'll squeeze an event there, probably. Takeuchi. Due to various rearrangements and adjustments to the schedule for this year's implementation event, one of the silhouette servants announced, it's showing here. One of the silhouette servants announced last year that was scheduled for implementation this year has been pushed back to next year. When there is only one servant left, it makes you wonder, is that the final boss? I just want you to remember that the last remaining silhouette will be implemented next year. Yeah, which was, yeah, there it is. Which is this one. It was also revealed by Takeuchi Takashi on the 9th anniversary and by Kano Yoshiki on the 10th anniversary of the series will celebrate its 11th anniversary. Okay, again, as I was saying, of course, that was possible. Here it is. Here it is. We'll have a chill 11th anniversary. Okay. At least you guys can hold your EOS screams until then. When you get to the 11th anniversary, sure. Let's come back to the FGO dooming, right? So part 2 is really coming to an end. By the way, will we be able to celebrate the 11th anniversary? Of course we will. However, as far as the story goes, we've been working hard with the goal of reaching the final chapter. The timing of when we will reach the final chapter is up to the users, but we would like you to experience the cutting-edge battles and adventures together. I wonder if Takeuchi was talking about the final battle. Final battle was amazing. I guess Madison Galahad will come in any. Who knows? Kano. Actually, she was originally scheduled to... She? Can I see the original here? Oh, I wonder if it's saying Kanojo. Might be gender neutral. Let's not focus too much on this. Actually, she was originally scheduled to appear a little later, but considering the feelings of the users... Right. Talk about Olga Maria. Sorry. Let's start again. Actually, she was originally scheduled to appear a little later, but considering the feelings of the users, I would like Olga Maria to appear before the final chapter. If anything, I would like her to be a grand servant and see her to the end of part 2. I remember changing it because of that feeling. It was Kano that made the choice. Really? It was Kano Yoshiki decision then. I saw people commenting on this, but people were not saying as specific who made the decision and stuff like this. It was Kano. I have a mixed feelings toward this, not gonna lie, because I feel like Olga Maria at the end, it would have such a more emotional impact, you know, because we lost Olga, we failed to save her, and then she shows up in the gacha. I think it would be awesome, especially the third ascension will have more meaning. But I guess I can understand Kano's feeling that people wanted to end the part 2 with her. I guess I can see that. Yeah, a little bit of mixed feelings, but I can see them. Anyway, let's continue. So since it was brought forward, does that mean there will be an 11th anniversary servant? Yes, we have already started making it. Nice. So you're going to go beyond the final chapter. We will, of course. Part 2 will be a milestone, but we are still working with our eyes firmly on the 11th anniversary. Okay, this is still a bit. The wording is still a bit. Nah, it's a bit ambiguous. Let's put it this way, right? Because just because it's saying it's a milestone doesn't mean it will have more. But I just want to collect more and more evidences that we'll have more. Okay, let's calm down the doomers. Not that the doomers will stop, but just saying, the people that are on the fence because of the doomers. See, there are many points on the graph to say that things will be fine. So Olga was meant to be the 11 versus 7. No. Olga was meant to be the New Year's servant. The New Year's servant. Well, most likely, right? They didn't say with all the words, but most likely, Olga was supposed to be the New Year's servant, and the anniversary servant was supposed to be Lord Logres. That was more or less what's supposed to happen, probably. I wonder if Lord Logres and Olga changed Banner's place. Yeah. I mean, that was the most likely scenario, Because usually it's the anniversary servants that some unrelated servant shows up, right? I think. Yeah, it's usually the anniversary shows some servant that are completely unrelated, and it will be implemented in the story later, right? So Lord Logres would not only be perfect for this aspect, but having the Noble Phantasm doing more damage to threat to humanity would be perfect for tree farming, right? So Lord Logres would be perfect for all those situations. But then Kano decides on the idea of Olga Marie for the feelings of the players. I don't necessarily think it was wrong, but I have some mixed feelings. Anyway, let's continue. It was also mentioned in an interview with Natsu and Takeuchi on the 10th anniversary that there was another candidate for the 2025 anniversary servant besides Olga. See, this implies even more, that Olga and Lord Logres were supposed to be switched between them, the banners. Lord Logres was supposed to be the anniversary, and Olga was supposed to be New Year's. This shows even more now. Now makes even more sense, because at the time, on the 10th anniversary interview, they said this. It didn't make much sense. But now that we have Lord Logres, you can tell a little bit more. You can have a bit more of a speculation. Let's see. Could you tell us why you choose Olga Maria as anniversary servant? There was no other choice. It's no exaggeration to say that we've been working hard to bring out this servant. Anniversary servants are always a difficult choice. We have lively discussions within the team, but because this is the 10th anniversary, we didn't have many options. There was actually one other candidate, but after much consideration, we decided that she was the best. Regarding the timing of Olga Maria's release, Nasu said, "She's heavily involved in the final chapter, so I've been debating whether to release her before or after. At one point, we thought that releasing her after the final chapter might be better. New Year's! But ultimately, we decided to release her before the chapter." I mean, is there any doubt? Is there any doubt? Seriously? Come on. She was supposed to be the New Year's servant. Come on. I'm speculating, of course, it's my opinion, but come on. No, so there are pros and cons to both. If we release her after the final chapter, it would be like, I'm happy, but the final chapter is already over. And if we release her before final chapter, it will leave her. It would leave her unsolved for a while. I guess so. That being said, by releasing her before the final chapter, we hope to build momentum for the content of the final chapter. It kind of worked out. Worked out because Olga Maria was insanely popular when she was released, right? By the way, FGO's anniversary. Wait, let me just confirm. FGO fandom. No, Olga Maria FGO. I want to see the exact date when she was released because I want to pick another data here for you guys. The 10th anniversary summon. There's no hyperlink. I came here because of the hyperlink. God damn it! 10th anniversary. Give me a hyperlink to the event, goddammit. I want to access the event. Is there a hyperlink to the event here? No, right? Memorial. Damn, where the link to the event? Quests. FGO fandom 10th anniversary. There you go. That's the link I wanted. God damn it. Anyway, August. Okay, this is exactly August. So let me grab here just a second. Gotcha revenue. August 2025. So, God damn, how do I open this? I do this. Okay. There you go. So, damn, where's FGO? What the hell? Ah! I was searching FGO around here, you know? I was like, wait, where's FGO? Where's FGO? I can't find FGO. Where's FGO? Oh. So yeah, I guess Olga the anniversary works, right? Right? I guess it kind of worked for them. So yeah, at least I guess it's safe to say the user response was positive. Let's not forget that a huge chunk of players got instantly the 1,000 quartz. It was the month that they most gave roles to the players, and still they made a shit ton of money, right? Just I just want to remember that this happened when they released Olga, right? It just to tie everything. Since there was 11th anniversary servant, it seems like a Valentine's Day's event is in 2027 is likely. It's already thinking of 2027. Okay, it's likely. If we follow the logic that since there have been summoned, a Valentine's Day event will likely be implemented. However, just as ceremonial Solomon is not included in the voice chocolate exchange scenario, it's important to note that there's a possibility that 11th anniversary servants will also be included. There will be no event at all. That's all the information we've been revealed so far. The annual New Year's Eve special will apparently be a special program focused on FGO, which was a bit lame. Let's be real, it was a bit lame. I watched with you guys. It was just like the only thing we got was the Lord Logos. It was a nice callback. It was nice. The guests were pretty cool. We finally got a reveal of Wada Arco's voice, but it's still nothing much, right? There will apparently be interviews with people involved, so we hope that some information about the future events will be released after. And I guess that's it. This was all the data collected by the Famitsu about the interviews they did with Natsu, Takeuchi, related to this. So, damn. Either way, it was quite amazing. Made a lot of money, but I feel like you guys might call me biased, but I think it's fair to say we have way more evidence to imply that the story will continue just fine, that they want to continue, even if Nasu eventually steps down as the main writer. I can see they choosing another main writer for the story, and then Nasu showing up. Oh yeah, I'll come back to write this chapter from part 3 because XYZ, you know. So that's it. That's mostly what I wanted to bring related to this. And my opinion is that I truly believe part 3 is not only possible, but it's obvious at this point. I think it's just obvious it's gonna happen. There's no reason not to happen. So yeah, I guess chill.